Hello, everyone. It's Brandon Marianne Lee here for week 6. I am here live. I'm taking your questions on Periscope, on Facebook Live. Hold on. Look at that. Look at that. Everybody's talking. Everybody's talking. All right. So I am here taking your Facebook questions, your Periscope questions, your YouTube questions, all at the same time, which is a little crazy. So make sure to ask your questions. I will get to as many as I humanly can. But either way, we're going to talk about some football here. We are going into week 6 here. It's a really exciting game, actually. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Carolina Panthers, both 4-1 teams, both with very balanced, awesome teams, frankly. In particular, I like the Carolina Panthers defense, but not in this particular matchup. I actually think Carson Wentz and his balanced offense are legit. Now, of course, every week, we play the game, so you never know. But I still think this is going to be a great Thursday night football game, which is wonderful to hear because a lot of times they are not. And again, if you want to ask me questions on Facebook, on Periscope, or on YouTube Live, go for it. Okay, so hold on one little baby second here. I have a producer today, by the way. It is Matt. Hi, Matt. Can you please send me the link to the new Periscope so that I can see people's comments? Because the old one is expired over Skype. That'd be great. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get to some of these Twitter questions that people are asking me. And then I, of course, instead of going to Twitter, I, of course, deleted it. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, here we go. Okay, so for some reason things aren't going how they're supposed to. That is okay. All right. I keep getting a bunch of interesting questions and comments and what have you about Joe Mixon, so I'm going ahead and approach this right now. Joe Mixon rest of season is someone that you probably want to have because running backs are dropping like flies. So yes, of course, I keep saying over and over again that he wasn't worth necessarily a fourth round draft pick, but that doesn't mean that you don't want him moving forward. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out. I lost David Johnson, Cooks, and Carson. Should I just take up DFS soccer? No. This is actually a really good point, you guys. Don't give up on your leagues. Everyone can still win. I know even if you're 0-5, that sounds like the most weird, horrible thing to say, but it's actually true, especially based on the fact that everyone is getting hurt. It's kind of a bit of a more even playing field right now, and it's going to come down to who is the quickest to the waiver wire, who's able to do things. Now, obviously, the biggest news story of the day today is Ezekiel Elliott. The Fifth Court of Appeals has decided to let his objection go, what have you. Anyway, I'm not a legalese, but I'm going to tell you this. If Darren McFadden or Alfred Morris is out there in your league right now, and you can pick them up, especially because it's free agency for most people and not necessarily waiver wire for most of you. Right now it's just free agency. You should do so. Now, our own Rick Wolf and Glenn Colton, who are big time Cowboys aficionados, are pretty convinced that it's going to be Run DMC who's going to be the bell cow back while Zeke is out on the suspension, if the suspension even happens. But again, Ezekiel Elliott's team is going to appeal this, and then they're on bye right now anyway. They have a whole week to kind of sort this out, figure out the best angle for them to move forward. But I think you need to have the other two guys for trade bait regardless. I would just say they shouldn't be out there. So there you go. How dumb is it to give Hyde the hot hand treatment? So aggravating. Yep. Totally agree with you. I don't know what else to say about that other than if I were the coach, I would completely abandon that frame of thinking. I don't think that that's helpful for anyone, anything, but hey, it's just kind of the way it is. So here's the deal. We have a little technical difficulty here. I am unable to get your questions right now on Periscope on my computer, so I'm going to move over to my phone And so hopefully we're going to be able to get that real quick. So my apologies. And then the phone is going to be interesting because it takes a minute for me. And here it is. Okay, great. Okay, see, this is easy peasy, you guys. So I'm going to be looking here. When you ask me your questions, they disappear. So you have to ask them to me more than once, and I apologize for that, but I did not come up with this app. So, you know, life is happening. All right, so we have people online right here on Periscope. Please ask your questions. I can finally see them. I couldn't see them before, and I promise that I will get them to you. In terms of what is going on with Carlos Hyde right now, I think that you could look at this one or two ways. That's why they're the 49ers, LOL, Jason Tucker. Oh man, Jason, you're so terrible, but you're kind of true as well. Cooper, Pryor, or Humphreys? You know, this is an intriguing question. Pryor played in his most snaps of the year the week before their bye. I'm actually okay with Pryor this week. I think Humphreys has perhaps maybe even a higher floor. Humphreys is not going away, you guys, but he's not really getting those big games, but he is getting 50 yards. So it kind of depends on what you exactly need, but I think that Pryor is kind of coming on, or at least they're going to try to get him to come on. And I know we've been saying that this whole time, and it's disappointing. Listen, I just cannot suggest Amari Cooper right now, especially considering the fact that even if Derek Carr does play, he's probably going to be injured, and that makes me nervous. Zeke owner, 10-team PPR with flex. My running backs, Gurley, Hyde, Abdullah, Stewart, Powell, McGuire. Drop any for DMC. I would not. I think those are all better. Pick 2 in standard. Funchess, McCaffrey, McKinnon, Kamara. I would go with Funchess and McCaffrey, believe it or not. I like McKinnon. He would probably be a very, very, very close. Thank God I need advice. Of course, we'll come on down. I'm here for you. I think McKinnon's a really, really close one. I like Kamara, but I think this is actually a better matchup for Mark Ingram this particular week. And Kamara, I don't think he's really going to get. Do you like McKinnon this week as a RB2 in PPR? Yeah, it depends on your other options, obviously. I was going to talk about him a little bit. I think it's a good option against Green Bay. Thank you. You're welcome. Newton or Kirk? I think I'd probably go Newton right now. Thoughts on Wentz? I like Wentz rest of season. This is a tough matchup. Tate or Montgomery standard? I'm going Tate. I'm a little bit worried about Montgomery's injury still, and I'm worried about Aaron Jones and his usage. I think that they're going to split this up a little bit more, which is intriguing to me considering the fact that Ty Montgomery had the absolute most snaps played out of all the running backs prior to his injury. Pick 2 in a full point PPR, Cohen, Murray, or Coleman. DeMarco Murray? I would definitely go with DeMarco Murray. Wentz or Carr? I would go Wentz because we don't know if Carr officially is going to play or at what capacity. Funchess for tonight. Is he healthy? I think he's healthy enough. I feel fine about Funchess for tonight. Unless we hear differently within this hour, which is possible, but I don't think so. 2 out of 3, yes. Could you please repeat the question? 2 out of 3. Pick 2. Alshon, Fuller, or Kelvin? I would go Fuller and Alshon for me. That's what I was thinking. Start Monty, and then he gets hurt. That way. Okay, so Wentz or Jacoby, thank you. I would still go Wentz over Jacoby. I do like Jacoby over a lot of other people, frankly, but I think I would still go Wentz. He's going to have to score points against the Carolina Panthers. And I know the Carolina Panthers defense is good, but so is Carson Wentz. Coleman or Cohen? I would go Coleman. Coleman has an oddly high floor recently. His usage is not going down, it's going up. I think they're going to need him. All right, thanks, fam. You're welcome. Hashtag FA Nation. Let's do this. By the way, you guys, also, there's a lot of great information right now on Fantasy Alarm, and I'm here to answer your questions directly, always, on Thursdays from 7 to 8, although next week it's going to be Howard Bender, so make sure to tune in for my guy. Thanks to the best. You're welcome. But go to fantasyalarm.com, use my promo code BMLEE, and sign up for the Playbook Pro tool. You guys, the tools there are fantastic, and you'll get a month for free if you use my promo code. Again, BMLEE. Really, you are. Oh, thank you. And then also, Howard Bender and I are here together, which is great because it's good to have more than one opinion. I'm one person, right? And so it's important that we all get together, we ask a bunch of questions, get a lot of different information before you make your call. Bender and I are both here on Sundays from 11 to 12. Drop Ingram for ASJ. I would think about it. Yeah, Gronk is my other tight end. I'd do that. Duke Johnson, Alvin Kamara, Wayne Gollum, pick 2. Duke Johnson and Kamara for me. Landry or Matthews standard. I would go with Landry. Landry's getting a ton of usage. I know Jay Cutler is a huge liability, perhaps the scariest story of the 2017 season, other than the Giants. So here's the deal. I'm an Evan Engram believer, and I'm even a Wayne Gallman believer, believe it or not, even though he splits carries with Orleans Darkwa. Hyde or Kamara PPR? Oof. I think Kamara has a higher floor, unfortunately, because the San Francisco 49ers are crazy and not going with Hyde more. But here's my problem with Evan Engram right now. He's the only person there who can catch the ball. I mean, they have Roger Lewis, and then they brought up a bunch of guys from the practice squad. I don't like anything that's going on there in terms of pass catchers, so he's just going to get all the defense, and that worries me, especially against Denver. Oh, my. Drop Devontae Parker for McFadden. Doobie doobie doo. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, this could all be a ruse. But I guess if you're a Zeke owner and you want to feel that insurance, I'm okay with it. However, or if you're someone that wants to get a good trade with the Zeke owner, I guess I'm okay with it. I don't love it. I still think Devontae Parker, when healthy, is going to be a really interesting play. But, man, it's really tough. It's tough for me because Jay Cutler cannot get it done. He cannot get it done. So I feel like this is a really hard spot you put me in here. What to do with Hyde? Cry. We're all just going to cry. It makes absolutely zero sense for him not to be the bell cow back, but they're continuing to put us through this. And I get it. You know, Brady looks good on spurts. But you know what? Carlos Hyde needs to get into a rhythm, and he can't get into a rhythm if they're not going to use him. All right. It's all about Cutler. It is all about Cutler, and that's sad. Newton or Rivers this week? I'm going to go with Newton. I think that Phillip Rivers makes me nervous every week. Oakland, this is an important matchup, but you know they often have his number. Benjamin tonight, or Pryor, Standard, Banks. I'd probably go Benjamin, hot hand, got them 0 and 5. Exactly, 49ers. Exactly. All right, let me get to some Facebook questions here too. Fournette and Dez for Julio and Duke. No. I would keep Fournette and Dez. I think Fournette is the running back you want in the future. In fact, I kind of got some slack because I said that I actually would rather have Fournette than Le'Veon Bell, which seems crazy until you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're incredibly up and down, and I'm worried about him. I think they're both top 5 guys, obviously, but I think Fournette is at that category right now, so I don't understand doing 1 for 1. Gore or Landry, I'd go Landry. I don't see the other question. It disappeared. I picked up Foreman as a hold with bye weeks. Is he okay to drop? Yes, I think so. I just don't think that Lamar Miller's lost that job. You know, he hasn't done anything to really lose it, so I don't know why they would go with Foreman at this point. Landry, why would you go with Gore with Marlon Mack getting more touches? Oh, okay, that was the question, Landry or Gore. I would go Landry. Again, Landry's usage is out of this world. He's the only person who is surviving Jay Cutler, you know, and there's no other way to put that, frankly. You're welcome. Hyde, Blunt, or Garcon, Standard. Oh, that changes things, doesn't it? You know, Garcon is the only person with more than 40 targets who has yet to score a touchdown, which makes Standard kind of sad for me. I think Blunt might get a touchdown, or he could totally fall on his face. The Carolina Panthers are a tough defense, and the same with Hyde. So I think I might actually spread it out a little bit. We know Garcon is the #1 guy, even though he hasn't scored a touchdown. And so I'd probably go Garcon and Hyde, and then keep my fingers crossed. That's really all you can do at this point. That's really all you can do. Drop Tevin Coleman for McFadden. No. Ertz or ASJ? Ertz. What do I do with Carlos Hyde? Everyone's asking Carlos Hyde question. Cry. That's all we can do about Carlos Hyde. I mean, I'm trying to be nice about this, but there is no way that we can get into the head of Kyle Shanahan at this point, and he just refuses to commit. This is much more frustrating than the Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman share from last season with Kyle Shanahan at the helm, because we knew what they were going to do. We knew that both of them were playable, although we knew that at least Freeman was going to get the majority of the touches. Even if he didn't get the majority of the touchdowns, he ended up getting the majority of the touchdowns at the end of the season. But still, it was a little scary touch and go in between there. So here's the problem. The San Francisco 49ers are not scoring enough points as an offense to feel good about Hyde or Breida. I mean, how do you feel good about either of them, frankly? So unfortunately, I just can't give you great news, but I also can't tell you to sit him when you're looking at a bunch of other guys that are fill-in categories. So I was offered Martavis for Marshall Marshawn Lynch, good or bad? I would say bad. Martavis Bryant has been losing snaps to Juju Smith-Schuster. In fact, Juju Smith-Schuster has outsnapped Martavis Bryant in each of the last 3 weeks. So if he starts also getting more targets, which has been about even, this is just a no-brainer for me. I don't really like Lynch or Martavis Bryant rest of season, frankly. So if you're going to work on something, I would work on something else. Hunter Henry or Rudolph? Man, I think I'd go Rudolph. Let me come back to that one. Do you think McFadden will be a workhorse? Maybe. I think that there's a possibility. Perine or Mack? I'm going Mack. What do you think of Chris Hogan for Watson? Good or bad? My quarterback is Stafford. I would keep Hogan. I still think that Stafford will be fine for you, and it's going to be hard to replace Hogan as a wide receiver. Funchess or Tyreek Hill? Wow, why aren't you playing both? And I missed the last question. I'm losing a little bit of focus, but we're gonna get through all these questions. They happen so fast, you guys. My apologies. Again, if I don't get to your question on Periscope, they disappear on me, so I cannot see them. All right, pick 2: Cooks, Tate, Funchess, PPR. I would go Cooks and Tate. I hope that Cooks is going to be okay. I think they're going to spread around that wide receiver love there so that they can really get them, because I think they're going to have to try to key in on Rob Gronkowski, leaving those wide receivers open, and especially Brandon Cooks is my hunch on what the Jets are going to do against the Patriots, and they're going to force them to throw, and that would be good for Cooks. But certainly Funchess, it's hard to sit him right now. And in terms of PPR, I don't know how you sit Tate this week. I mean, listen, the Lions are going up against the New Orleans Saints. They're going to have to throw. So that's how I feel about that. Perine or Marlon Mack? I would go Marlon Mack in the flex. Will Mike Williams leapfrog Tyrell Williams and Travis Benjamin? Yes and no. For sure, Travis Benjamin. Tyrell Williams is actually the person who's played the most snaps, other than Phillip Rivers, in the entire Los Angeles Chargers offense. Other than Phillip Rivers, it's been Tyrell Williams. So he's still going to be on the field a lot. So that makes me a little bit nervous. But still, Mike Williams is the one who gets the majority of the targets, in my opinion, in comparison to those two. All right. So we've got DeMarco Murray's killing my points in my PPR league. Right. But he was hurt, guys. Next available on the wire is Kamara. How do you feel about him? Well, I like Kamara, but I would not drop DeMarco Murray for him. I think DeMarco Murray is going to be fine, you guys. There's a direct correlation to his injury as to what his snap count was, and the usage was Derrick Henry. I think this is a non-issue moving forward if Murray is healthy, which it seems like he is. Why not Morris? DMC has not been active since the season started. Okay, so here's my thing about the Morris and DeMarco Murray debate. None of us know. Really. I'm just simply deferring to one of my bosses, Rick Wolf, and one of my colleagues, Glenn Colton, who, frankly, they're both Cowboys aficionados and handcuff aficionados. They're two of the guys that really hold on to this handcuff policy. They are under the impression that they have been holding out Darren McFadden so that if this were to happen, if Ezekiel Elliott had to serve a suspension, that he would be able to go in and dominate. I think this could go either way. So I'm not committed to either. And also, again, a lot of people, including these same two gentlemen that I'm leaning on, believe that this suspension isn't even going to happen. I think that he's going to appeal, that this is going to be stopped, that he's going to be okay for the rest of the season. I'm not entirely sure. I will say this. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line, although still great, hasn't been as dominant as it has for the 2 years prior, in the way that I would feel great that anyone can run behind them. Now, Ezekiel Elliott is still doing well, don't get me wrong, still a top 5 guy moving forward if he plays. I'm not talking crazy here, but I am going to say that if this is a share, they don't have the best matchups moving forward after they come back against San Francisco in in week 7. Then it gets tough for a while there. So I'm not loving really anyone, but I do think that you want to have them on your bench, and you should use them as trade bait if you can, if they are available in your leagues. Martin or Ajayi. So I don't love Martin's matchup this week against the Arizona Cardinals. Both are on the road. The Dolphins are then at the Falcons. I want to say Ajayi. Again, Cutler is murdering all of our fantasy assets. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I think this is how it is for me. I think Martin is the safer option. We know he's going to get touches, and we know he's going to be able to do at least something with it. I do not think Martin's going to have a huge game, though. So this was DFS. He would not be my option because I don't think that there is a very high ceiling for this guy, but his floor is way higher. So it depends on what you're asking for. Jalen Richard, Ivory, Jamal Charles, Woodhead, which should go first rest of season? Woodhead. Brady or Newton? Brady. Pick 2 PPR, Gabriel, P. Ryan, Cooper. Okay. So Taylor Gabriel couldn't come down with a catch the week before the bye. But Julio Jones was hurt. Mohamed Sanu is hurt, probably not even going to play. He should be an option, but I didn't see the rest of the question, so I just wanted to address Taylor Gabriel, but he is a very low floor option. Tight end, oh, sorry, I missed the tight end question, you guys. Sorry. Ajayi or Funchess standard? I think Funchess. Ajayi is so scary right now. Every week after a memorable picture of Jay Cutler comes out, he has, I can't see the rest, but let me tell you, he has a huge game. Oh, no, he doesn't, because there was the smoking thing and he didn't have a huge game. Hyde or Lynch standard? I'm going to go Lynch one more time. I probably hate myself. Comber Garcon this week. I'm going in PPR, I'm going Garcon. In standard, I'd go Cobb. 0.5 tight end, Watson, Griffin, or Kittle? That's a great question. I think that I really like Griffin this week. Kittle's a little beat up. So might Watson. I would like to check and see what's going on with Watson. I feel okay about him, but I don't feel fantastic about him because I can't feel fantastic about Joe Flacco either. Joe Flacco's not playing well, everybody. I don't think that's news. So for me, I guess that's how I would go. Cutler equals GOAT. Yeah, I mean, he really is. He really is the GOAT when it comes to things we can depend on. Adams or Cooks standard? I think you mean Devontae Adams. I would go Devontae Adams. Okay, so here's the other deal too, guys. So I understand that this matchup for Green Bay and Minnesota seems a little bit scary. James White or Duke? I would go Duke. Would you play Kamara over D. Martin standard? No. How do you feel about Taylor Gabriel, Jones, and Sanu? I feel mediocre. Smith or Carr? Smith. Hello, hello. Jay Cutler equals the poop emoji. Getting closer, getting closer. Keep holding on to Luck to replace with Mariota. Have Watson too. I think you can let go of Luck or trade Luck away. If you have someone who's a really bad quarterback situation, they may give you just some, depth for Luck. Abdullah or Ellington this week in a 0.5 PPR. I'm probably going to go Abdullah here, but just barely. Just because I don't know exactly what they're going to do with Arizona. So Arizona, again, going up against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think they're going to try to kind of get cute with that. I don't know. It makes me nervous. Abdullah Cohen or Duke? I'd go Duke. Evan Engram or Funchess standard? I'd go Funchess. PPR McCaffrey or McKinnon? I would go McCaffrey. Actually, let me look up the stat here. And you guys also should go to fantasyalarm.com, not only get the Playbook Pro and enter the promo code BMLEE to get a month for free, but you should also go and check out my surprising stats article that went up today. So I'll say this. In week 5, that was the first time that Jonathan Stewart outsnapped Christian McCaffrey. The points did not follow. And I'll tell you this as well. The Eagles have allowed the 3rd most passing yards to opposing running backs, but also allowed the 2nd fewest rushing yards to opposing running backs. So that means that both of those stats support a Christian McCaffrey game here. Now, I know McCaffrey has not been the guy that everyone wanted him to be, where he was just like a big-time stud. I think that's a little bit difficult to say is happening, because it's not. But I still believe that he has the talent. No, by the way, the talent's never been in question for him. Obviously, he's fantastic, but the offense isn't the best for him, and that can't be denied. But this particular matchup and the way that the offense is starting to warm up, I do believe in Christian McCaffrey this week, and I probably will live to regret it, but all of these signs point to that. Okay, I picked up Foreman as a whole. We already did that one. We did that one. We did that one. Let's go here. Hello, heard your show from 4 to 6. Oh, thank you. Also heard breaking news concerning Ezekiel Elliott. Yep, thank you. Got DMC in both leagues. Good, guys. Right after me, got Morris. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. Again, we're not quite sure, and a lot of our sources are saying Run DMC is the one. So, you know, again, it's really speculative, and again, we're not quite sure that this is really going to happen. They're on bye this week. You weren't going to play Ezekiel Elliott anyway. You have time to think, to sit, to absorb, but so do they, and they're going to try to find the best way forward to try to get Ezekiel Elliott to play. Now, you could have multiple opinions about Ezekiel Elliott, whether or not you did this, whether or not you want to have him around. That's entirely up to you. But in terms of fantasy production, I'm not quite sure we're even going to see Alfred Morris or Run DMC, but I do think there's going to be enough of a freak out period that this is your time to act in terms of trades. Luckily, we are within the period where you can be trading. So go out there, see what you can get, see what you need, and try to get it done. All right, we have a defense question, which actually I love defense questions because we don't talk enough about defense and kickers, because don't leave any points on the table. Yes, I even said kickers. Okay, Baltimore or Atlanta defense. So Atlanta is going up against the Dolphins at home. The Baltimore Ravens are going up against the Bears at home. Believe it or not, I'm going to go with the Falcons on this one. I think Jay Cutler just throws more interceptions. Do you believe that the rumors that Aaron Jones holds onto the Packers job? A little bit, yeah. 1 point PPR, McKinnon or Aaron Jones? McKinnon. Jets or Houston defense? So Houston is playing against the Browns. I had to check this again because I'm like, why would you start the Jets against the Patriots if the Houston Texans are playing the Browns? I would definitely do Houston. Abdullah, Cohen, or Duke? I would go Duke. Reed or Brait, and this was in PPR League. Reed or Brait? Great question. I want to hear a little bit more about Reed's injury status. I would like to answer this question on Sunday. As of right now, I would go Brait. I know, it's crazy. I'm just really worried about Jordan Reed. Thank you. You're welcome. Zeke owner wants Morris for Ingram. PPR, good trade. I think it's an okay trade. I would maybe even try to get more. Obviously, this person's freaking out. Wrong week. Sorry, Houston, obviously. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I'm going to be polite. That's why I checked. I thought, well, maybe I'm not remembering who they're playing again this week. So it happens to the best of us. It's fine. And I had to think of myself. I was like, wow, why? What's going on? But hey, listen, like, it's okay. This is, each week is different. So you got to ask, right? I mean, I do it. It's fine. All right. Oh, I missed a bunch of Periscope questions, but we'll get to them. All right, Adam Thielen, Kelvin Benjamin, Doug Martin, PPR, need to. I would go Doug Martin and Kelvin Benjamin, but barely. Benjamin and Thielen are basically tied for me. I love Thielen. Like, I really love Thielen. I don't love the quarterback controversy, injury, disaster zone that's in Minnesota right now. I hope that they just kind of Keenum it up and feel good about it. But how can they? I don't know. I'd also like him to score a touchdown. I know, asking a little too much, I guess. Which quarterback do you like going forward, Watson or Wentz? I would go Watson, but I really like Carson Wentz, so there you go. If you have both, what you need to do is you need to trade one, big time. Funchess or Sanders? I would go Sanders. Trade Engram for Amari? Yeah, I would do that. Here's the deal. I don't like what's going on with Amari Cooper. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let him blow up on my bench before I start him again. I'm just being honest. I'm out. I don't see what's going on here. What Keenan Allen trade value need a running back? High. Keenan Allen is a PPR trade value is high. Thielen is chalk. Green Bay can't guard the slot receivers. Ask Cole Beasley. No, that's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I just also think this is going to be a huge game here. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're not going to find someone that loves Adam Thielen more than me. You're just not going to find it. So I'm fine with you doing that. What was I talking about? There was something we were just getting into a debate. Oh, Amari Cooper, yes, and Engram. So I feel better about Amari Cooper playing with a someday healthy Derek Carr, which I don't think is this week, than I do Evan Engram playing on the Giants that do not have a wide receiver. I mean, that's not a joke. They don't. And not only are they playing the Broncos this week, they're playing Seattle the following week. This is going to get demoralizing. And I don't like anything about that. And listen, he's the best pass catcher now on the team. So there is a boon there. But who else are they going to defend? He's also a rookie. So this is a lot of pressure for a guy who hasn't been in the National Football League for very long. And I just, again, I don't see this particular situation improving to the point where anything delightful is going to happen, I guess would be the way to put it. So I would be okay with going with Cooper for a little bit of upside there. All right. I'm sorry, I lost signal. Did you say Sanders? I did say Sanders, but I don't remember the question. But I know I said his name. Again, they disappear. So I'm sure I did. Chalk comes from school boards. I think chalk is elementary, my guess. Yeah, probably. Yes, she did. Okay, there you go. See? Thanks, everybody, for speaking up for me. Fitz, Pirine, or Hyde in the flex standard. Are you talking Larry Fitzgerald? Because I would go with Larry Fitzgerald even in standard in this particular matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's my answer right there. Then Hyde, then Pirine. I'm not feeling Pirine this week. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with all that. I know it's San Francisco, but it. Listen, it should be Chris Thompson. It should be Chris Thompson doing a lot more. Let me tell you, when they didn't have Chris Thompson doing things, it looked really bad. So they need to get back on that. And it was fascinating, actually, hearing his brother call this game. And he was like, oh, it's Chris Thompson. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I guess they're not running Chris Thompson right now. It's really embarrassing, actually. Buck Allen or Duke? I would go with Duke Johnson. And Buck Allen should get a lot of work, but so should Duke Johnson. And I think that this offense is going to get a little bit of a spark with Kevin Hogan. Kevin Hogan isn't terrible, everybody. I'm going to put that out there. That obviously isn't a ringing endorsement, but it also isn't, a stay away. So I think that Duke Johnson's going to continue getting the play. Diggs or Demaryius Thomas, non-PPR. I'm still going to go Diggs. Just because I think they're going to run the, what would be a nice word, heck, out of C.J. Anderson. So I don't know how much work Thompson's going to get or Sanders, which reminds me of what the Sanders question was. Maybe I need to go back to that and revisit it. But I'll say that. Benjamin or Funchess, depends on if you're PPR or standard. I think I'm going to lean Funchess here, unless I hear something really bad about Funchess' health. Buck Allen or Duke for running back. I have Duke everywhere. Again, I would go Duke, I would go Duke Johnson. Buck Allen's fine, though, if you want to have one league with him in it instead. Keenan Allen or Funchess standard, I would go Keenan Allen. Diggs or Garcon, half-point PPR, I would go Diggs. I would still go Diggs in that scenario. Would you drop Marlon Mack for Isaiah Crowell in PPR? No, I don't think I would. I know that sounds crazy considering we all drafted Isaiah Crowell so high, but no, I don't think I would. I think I would stick with Marlon Mack for a potential instead of Isaiah Crowell, where it just isn't happening and he's supposed to be the lead guy. Chris Thompson or Tevin Coleman, starting PPR. I'm going to go with Tevin Coleman because I think his floor is higher. Should I start Ajayi this week? Depends on your other options. I like it. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, we got more questions here. Okay. I missed something here, but you know what? That's going to be okay. Keenan Allen or Hill? I would still go Keenan Allen. Coleman or Lynch? Is it PPR or standard? If it's PPR, I'm going Coleman. Yeah, I know it's Tevin or Marshawn, but is it PPR or standard? This person's coming back to me. It's going to be very exciting. PPR. Yeah, I think I'm Coleman. I think Coleman has a distinct role. He's playing against the Miami Dolphins, and you know, with Julio out hurt, I think they're going to lean on Coleman a little bit more. And I missed that then. Sorry, you wrote out a very long question on Twitter, and then we'll get to that though when you retype it. Okay, trade. I'm 5-0 and have Le'Veon Bell. Should I trade Kareem Hunt for David Johnson? I get Johnson. No, don't trade Kareem Hunt for anyone. Thank you again for answering my questions via Twitter. Oh, you're welcome. I've been really bad at Twitter this week and last. Redskins or Packers defense? Ooh, Redskins playing San Francisco, Packers playing against the Vikings. I would go Redskins, even though Josh Norman isn't there, which makes it a little more nerve-wracking for me. So Joe Mixon is the GOAT, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, Joe Mixon is someone you actually do want right now because running backs keep getting hurt, and he is getting touches. I don't have a problem with that. I'm all about evolving, but, you know, take him in 4th round. Still crazy. Just traded away Fuller and Ty Montgomery for Terrell Pryor and Ajayi in PPR. Win? Oh, well, I hope you're happy with that. I missed the next 2. Kelsey with concussion. Fleener, Bennett, or Kittle on the waiver wire, half-point PPR. I'd probably go Kittle, but he's also struggling with injuries. How late can you wait to pick someone up? This is the question. Ajayi worth trading away? Maybe. It depends on what you can get, always. Smallwood is available, worth picking him up at a 14 PPR. Maybe. It depends on who you're dropping. I don't like his injury issues. Hello. Okay. Rudolph or Brait in PPR? I really like both of them this week. I'm going to lean Brait. Will Kelsey play on Sunday? I don't know. I'm hoping so. I have a lot of Kelsey in my life. So certainly I'm sending the good juju. I hope you're sending good juju. But I do think that this team is smart, and they're not going to do something that would put him in jeopardy. So if he is playing, he will be healthy, and he is a start. He is not someone that you're going to want to hold out. Big Ben or Mariota this weekend? I think you have to go Big Ben because I'm not quite sure about Mariota's injury, and it's Monday Night Football. And I don't want to wait. The only way that you can do that is if you actually pick up Jacoby Brissett, which I might start over both of them, frankly. Just got a trade offer. Okay, great. What is your trade offer? I'm sure you're typing it right now. That'd be great. All right. Cohen or McGuire in 0.5 PPR flex. Drop either for Mike Williams. I would go with McGuire this particular week because of the Bilal Powell injury. Give Jerick McKinnon, get CJ Anderson. Yeah, I think I would do that. They're pretty even, though. I mean, I'm not quite sure what you're getting or losing there, other than the fact that you know that CJ Anderson has a longer track record of being fantasy relevant, but he also has a longer track record. Well, no, they're probably about the same track record in terms of being fantasy irrelevant. Both can be very frustrating. Start Doxson this weekend. It depends on your other options. Kelsey had a full practice today, so then he'll be A-okay. I mean, listen, if Travis Kelce's healthy, I'll put him out there. Same with Rob Gronkowski. Life. Hill or Funchess in standard? Tyreek Hill? I'd probably go... Okay, McCaffrey or Kamara. I'd probably go McCaffrey at this point. I think I answered Funchess right away the last time. I'm probably still going to lean that way, but I think Hill is probably a safer option. Kansas City Chiefs are going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to have to win. They're going to be at home. You love that stadium. So it's interesting. I have Kelsey and Ertz in my life. Well, listen, the only reason, so this is what I'd say about that. I would start Ertz tonight. And we talked about this a little bit on air on Sirius XM with Howard Bender today. I was so excited to be able to fill in for the great Jim Bowden. He is going to be covering baseball for the next couple days. But we talked a little bit about the people that have both Ertz and Gronk, which, by the way, congrats on life. I would start Ertz over Gronk because you have to start Ertz today. You can't wait. And Gronk did not play last week, and that was a surprise. I'm being told he's going to play. I'm assuming he's going to play. But just in case we get another surprise, you're out of luck if you don't start Ertz. And you know Ertz is going to get at least 8 targets like he has in every single game over the 2017 season. So for me, this particular week, if you have both Zach Ertz and Rob Gronkowski, I'm leaning towards Zach Ertz as a safety play. That doesn't mean that Rob Gronkowski isn't going to do well if he plays. Absolutely. Again, if he plays, you play him. But you just can't know because that game is tonight for Zach Ertz. So that's how I feel about that. Hi, everybody. Is Rob Kelley droppable? It depends on who your other options are. If you have Gronk and Ertz, you are playing with only 3 other people. Well, not necessarily. You know, Gronk was going in like round 3 or 2, and then Ertz was going like round 8. So you could have both. Devontae Parker, Tyrell Williams, or Doxson. I'd probably still go Parker, but again, we have to watch for that injury. Fleener or Dixon or Griffin. I'm leaning Griffin here. Yeah, I'm gonna lean Griffin. I think he's legit. What are some good buy low candidates? Man, first of all, something we don't talk enough about is regional bias. For instance, I am in a bunch of leagues with my friends from Minnesota. Well, I'm probably in the only leagues in the world where you couldn't get Adam Thielen or Stephon Diggs for a super discount, right? Because they're Vikings fans and people know how good they are, et cetera, et cetera. It depends on where you're living. So this is very weird, but I can usually get a deal on Packers in those leagues because they adamantly hate the Packers. Now, even if they're subconsciously doing it, I can usually get them for a song. So this is kind of a sneaky thing that I would actually suggest everyone do, is think about where are the majority of these people located, and let me see if I can get one of these people off of their hands that maybe they don't like on a personal level. I know that sounds crazy, but you can get a discount. All right, so you like Rudolph over Henry. I think Rudolph is going to be your safer play. I think Henry is by far the guy who has, the possibility of getting a touchdown, especially against the Raiders. Kevin Hogan or Josh McCown? I think I'd go Josh McCown. It's New England, man. I missed that big long one. Morris or McFadden after the bye? Again, I'm not quite sure that this suspension is going to stay. The Ezekiel Elliott camp is definitely putting in an appeal. We are not quite sure what's going on, and we cannot stress this enough, you guys. This is obviously the biggest news story of the day. If you are an Ezekiel Elliott owner, so I'm going to go through the different stages of life here. If you're an Ezekiel Elliott owner, okay, I'm going to suggest that you stay. I'm going to suggest that you take a chill pill. Ride this pony out. Okay, that's my first thing. If Morris or McFadden's out there, absolutely go pick them up. But at this point, because it's been live for a couple hours now, they're all in all likely not there anymore because it was open. It was free agency, not necessarily waiver wire in the majority of leagues. So people have already gone and picked them up probably. If you can get them, go get them right now. Have them for safety. Okay, we're not going to know exactly what's going to happen here for a few days. Maybe even a week. The thing that I don't like about this is that it seems to keep rearing its ugly head, right? And that's what I don't care for. If you're someone that makes them nervous, okay, which I think all of us that makes a little bit nervous, but if you're going to get incredibly nervous about this, I need you to take very, very high offers seriously, as in like, I'll give you Julio Jones for Ezekiel Elliott plus a scrub running back, something like that. You are going to need to make sure that one running back at least is involved with every single trade offer that is coming to you, because there is a possibility, that even if you have some sort of handcuff situation, it's not going to work out. But I think you really, really have to open your mind. If you can get listen, I'm getting information that people are getting 3-person trades for Ezekiel Elliott, all 3 of them top tier. I would take that. Okay. And not because I even necessarily think this is going to happen, but because this drama continues to follow around the Dallas Cowboys, and it makes me uncomfortable and it makes them uncomfortable, you can tell. If you do not have Ezekiel Elliott, I would try to see if the Ezekiel Elliott person is panicking. Now, while I'm telling you not to make panic trades and to only take the toppity top, other people are just going to say, well, at least I'll have someone. And if that's the case, well, go get Ezekiel Elliott for a discount, because the guy's going to be a top 5 guy if he's not playing, and even if he is playing. And I think there's a distinct possibility that's what happens. So those are my very concrete thoughts on the Ezekiel Elliott situation. And again, even if you don't have Ezekiel Elliott, you should be right now going to check your free agency and seeing if you can get them, meaning Alfred Morris and Darren McFadden, and then trying to trade them or, put some sort of deal together for the Ezekiel Elliott owner. Okay, so here's the other thing. You could just have Alfred Morris and say that you want one of the top tier wide receivers or whatnot from the Ezekiel Elliott owner, and then they'll get insurance. Okay, so play the whole system, everybody. Everybody play the system. But again, there is a lot of stuff up in the air right now, and anyone who's telling you otherwise is lying. We do not know for sure. And I am under the impression, and our very own Glenn Colton, who happens to be a lawyer, has told us that this is going to be very complicated, and he does not suspect that this suspension is going to be upheld. So it's incredibly interesting. Hill was limited with a hammy. You don't like that. Kelsey full at practice. You do like that. Love me some Zach Ertz. Absolutely. Should I play Alshon tonight over Emmanuel Sanders? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Just because I do wonder about the Sanders needing to throw situation. I think there's a possibility he has a great game. I think there's also a possibility that they run a lot. Would you offer Ty Montgomery and Aaron Jones for Zeke? Yeah. Now that's interesting. Yes. I think I would. If you have a nice little bevy of running backs that can fill in if need be, mostly because at this point, from what we're hearing, you might be nervous playing Aaron Jones or Ty Montgomery. Now, I don't want to sell the Green Bay Packers short, and certainly their offense scores so many points that oftentimes a lot of people can prosper at the exact same time. But I'm going to say this, that I think this could be a rotating situation that would make me nervous starting either of them. So this is intriguing to me. Why is the sound delayed on Periscope? I don't know. I apologize. Funches tonight. Deshaun Jackson, Crabtree. Oh, sorry, I missed the rest of that. So Gurley is my other, and your boy Mixon is my other. Ah, my boy. Yeah, no, I'd be fine with that then, absolutely. Garcon or Funches in standard? I think Funches. If it was PPR, Garcon is hard to beat. In standard, you wonder if San Francisco is going to score a touchdown ever. Now, Washington, the thing is that their Josh Norman is out. So that certainly helps San Francisco 49ers quite a bit. And it certainly helps Pierre Garcon. But yeah, it is a little bit delayed. All right, let me see here. Okay. Funches, Deshaun Jackson, or Tate need two. I'd go, I think it was PPR, I'd go to Deshaun Jackson and Tate. Deshaun Jackson and Funches are a little interchangeable for me, and I'd love other people's opinion. Go ahead and put it out there, you guys. But to me, I just feel like this is a scoring opportunity. And again, in PPR, Tate is going to be really hard to not play against the New Orleans Saints. Like really, really hard. So yeah, that's certainly how I feel about that. Okay. Oh, look, Howard Bender promoting the live stream. Thank you, Howard, to listen in right now. And I apologize if there is a delay. Here we go. Traded away Adams, AP for Big Ben and Hogan. Good trade. I don't know why you'd want Big Ben. Can I get a Y on that one? Here's how I feel about Ben Roethlisberger. I think I'm having a difficult time seeing him bounce back in a way that would be meaningful on a week-to-week basis from fantasy production purposes. It seems like not even home or away splits are favorable for him right now. Cam or Wentz? I'm going to give Cam. the minor nod because of the Carolina Panthers defense. I'm very excited for this game, though. Again, both teams 4-1. Both are young teams, a lot of heart. I'm excited to see them play today. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we've got Ben lost his mojo. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he's just not working out. You know, and this is my problem with Martavis Bryant, Juju Smith-Schuster, and all these like kind of second tier pass catching options on that team. Is I'm not quite sure there's enough work to go around. Aim 2 going to be really good. Yes. Trade away Christian McCaffrey and Blunt for Gronk and Thompson, I think is what it says. Abdullah or Funchess PPR. I would go Funchess on this one and PPR leagues. Who would you start this week in PPR? Ajayi, Coleman, Chris Thompson, or Mac? I would go Ajayi, then Coleman. I want to say Chris Thompson, man. They make me very nervous. Abdullah or Garcon in PPR? I'd go Garcon. Tate or I didn't see that. Perine. Everyone's obsessed with Perine. Here's my problem with Perine. I just don't think he's as good as Chris Thompson. I'm going to say it. I think that it should be Chris Thompson. I don't understand why they continue doing this. I think it's absurd, and I think if they get behind, they're going to go back to Thompson anyway. I know people are obsessed with Perine, but I don't know. Tate or Aguilar PPR? I'd go Tate. What are your thoughts on Martavis Bryant non-PPR rest of the season? I don't have him anywhere. So I guess that's my opinion on that. I just think that he's really difficult. Thanks for doing this. You're welcome. Thanks, Jason. Duke Johnson or Elijah McGuire? Ooh, I think Elijah McGuire is going to have a killer game, but I actually like both of these players a lot. Duke Johnson has the absolute most receiving yards out of any running back right now, and it's really hard for me to take him out, especially in PPR formats for sure. I understand, man. So they're playing against the 49ers. Perine. Oh, he makes me so mad. Okay, do I start Funchess and Benjamin tonight? Yeah, it depends on what your other options are, but certainly they are intriguing. Redskins, Saints, or Steelers defense. So the Steelers are playing the Chiefs, so that's an absolutely no. Redskins against the 49ers is probably the way that I would go. Roll Tide, that's the only thing that matters. Yeah, exactly. I mean, all the college peeps out there, I know y'all get on me because I'm not huge on college football, and really I just am watching the tape after the fact. I get it, but you know what? A lot of these great college players don't work out in the NFL because they don't get the opportunities, and or it's a tough game. So missed Zeke 10-point PPR. My running backs are, sorry man, it's too long. I can't get it to it quick enough. Can you break up that Periscope about Zeke into smaller sections, and then I can answer the question better. I have AJ, Allen, and Cooper. Should I trade Julio for Freeman? Yeah. I would want Devontae Freeman no matter what. Doug Martin, Elijah McGuire, Mixon, or Buck Allen, pick 2. I would do Martin and McGuire. Ajayi, not Mixon. I don't understand the question. Should I go McCaffrey or Funchess, non-PPR? I'll probably go Funchess. Do you think Allen will have a big game against the Bears? Yes, maybe. Yeah, I guess. I think he'll be fine. My big problem with the Falcons right now is that Joe Flacco just is not playing good enough for anyone to play well. So that's distressing to me. It's difficult for me to get too excited about that. So, but yeah, it looks like Allen's going to get the majority of the touches. And I guess that's the best you can say. And again, right now, even if, I don't love, Joe Mixon, and I've been pretty, open about that. He is getting touches, and at this point, so many running backs have gone down with injuries. How can you argue against that? So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's how I feel about Buck Allen right now. I just feel like, he's getting the touches right there. Terrence West is obviously an injury liability, and that's an issue. So I can't sit there and say no, but I also can't get mega excited because Joe Flacco has just been a complete and utter disaster zone. So trade Hopkins for Gurley and Tevin Coleman. Yeah, if you need running backs. Can I talk? No. McKinnon or Howard and non-PPR, I'd go Howard. Ajayi or McCaffrey standard. Alshon or Kelvin standard. I'd probably go Alshon and, oh gosh, I can't remember. I think it was Ajayi or McCaffrey in standard. I'd probably go Ajayi. Oh. Although if you want to be safe, if you have issues with waiting for Ajayi and not knowing what the news will be coming out of Miami at any given point, considering their coaches are also on tape, you know, doing cocaine and whoever knows what else is going on, I'm okay with that too. I mean, I can't argue with going with McCaffrey because you know he's going to be playing tonight. Would you flex Kelvin over Fuller? I don't think so. I think Fuller is like the perfect flex where, I mean, his potential is just out of control. So it's hard for me to take Fuller out of the flex position at this point because basically we have flexes for this exact reason, right? To have someone with that huge play upside. It's nuts. Told you, do you, please, Gurley, Hyde, Abdullah, Stewart, Powell, McGuire, get DMC, drop who? I think I might just stay in your case. Thank you. You're the best. You're welcome. And that's the thing. Like, if you have other options that are pretty good, I don't know if I can, you know, drop them for people. But if you have guys that you just need to unload, you got a Paul Perkins still sitting out there. What are you doing? Go get DMC or go get Morris. Stop with your Paul Perkins niche. McCaffrey or Duke Johnson. I think I'd go. I can play both and bench Landry. I think I'd go Duke Johnson and Landry actually. Although I think McCaffrey's going to have a huge game. I like all three of those guys big time this year. I own Elliott. Okay, can I Marlon Mack or for Matavis Bryant? I would rather have Mack than Bryant at this point. Again, because the running back position is just a dying breed right now. They're literally all going down like flies. And then also Bryant's just trending in the wrong direction in terms of snaps, targets, and everything. And okay, I don't know what's going on here. I think people are responding to the guy who's being rude on Periscope. Everybody just be cool. Can't we all just be cool? Okay, great. So I need to get out of here and go or Martavis Bryant, not for. Oh, I would go Mac instead of Bryant. Regardless. So there you go. There you go. All right. What are your thoughts on the Texans DST this week with the injuries? I still like the Texans against the Browns. I still think that that's a strong play because even though I think, you know, Kevin Hogan at least is going to score more touchdowns than throw interceptions, and still probably throw interceptions. So the injuries do concern me. If they were playing someone else other than the Browns, but it's a little hard to set a defense going up against the Browns. Again, it's always about what your other options are, but it certainly is intriguing. All right, great, you guys. Well, I'm going to head out of here, so I want to thank everyone for tuning in for this live stream. Again, I'm going to be here from 11 to noon on Sunday with the Howard Bender. You can follow him on Twitter at RotoBuzzGuy. And again, if you want, I mean, Fantasy Alarm has honestly the best information, tons of tools. I'm on the site all the time, and you want to get the Playbook Pro so that you have access to everything. And if you enter the promo code BMLEE, my initials plus last name, you can get a month for free, so you should go and get it, because who doesn't want a month of free of anything? Hello. So make sure to go and check it out. And again, good luck, you guys, in week 6. It's getting intense. I know it's the second week of the buys. There's a lot of injuries, a lot of question marks. There's trades happening in real football, which is nuts. But, you know, keep your head on a swivel. We're going to be good to go. And certainly this whole Ezekiel Elliott suspension situation is dicey, but I'm encouraging you all to just, you know, make sure that you have the people that you need. Buckle up. Stay calm if you have Zeke. Test the waters if you don't, see if you can get them. But again, our sources are telling us that it is more than likely that they're going to fight this. They'll probably get another stay, and it's probably going to be Ezekiel Elliott playing. But man, you should be prepared just in case, everybody. Prepare just in case. So thank you so much, everybody. Happy, happy, happy week 6. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.